Well, Marcus, a few days since Notts County and the FA Cup defeat, can you just put a bit of perspective on how you and the management team are feeling about that game on Friday?
Very, very disappointed, very angry, very moody. So, you know, it's a way of losing games, and we've not been used to that over the years here. But if you're going to lose game, and we are going to lose games because, you know, we're not big hitters. Everyone loses games, but there's a way in which we lose games at this club, and that's not the way. So that's why things are disappointing. That's why we're moody. That's why we're angry. But you know, it can only be like that for a certain time, because there's another game to come, and you can't always be like that. It's always about being confident and trying to get a feel-good factor into the club. So you know, that's out of everyone's system now. It's on to the next game, but there's no doubt that over the weekend and today, sorry, not today. So what day is it today? It's Tuesday. Monday, of course. You know, the place was a bit frosty. That's the way it's got to be sometimes. And sometimes you can manufacture that, and sometimes you actually mean it. And it was meant.
Do you hope that if there's a positive to come from it, it's a turning point now, and that won't happen again?
You'd like to say that, wouldn't you? You know, that's. But there's always something around the corner, you know. But and we haven't had to say that a lot since we've been at this club. So you know, that's the positive. It's not something that happens every week in, week out. So although we've been indifferent this season, as we know, in terms of the amount of wins and losses and no draws, so that tells its own story. So it's something that we're not used to, so that's why it's so irritating or annoying, so frustrating sometimes. So yeah.
It's probably too cliche to say, are some players playing for their futures? Because in every football club in the land, people are always playing for their futures. They always need to keep improving and getting better.
Players need to be improving at this club. That's never changed. You know, everyone needs to be seen to be want to improve, and I do see that. That's the frustration sometimes. You do see that. You don't see a lazy bunch of players that are happy to come in as late as they can and happy to go in as early as they can. You see a bunch of players that are willing to work hard. So that's sometimes the toughest thing to deal with, because you see them trying to make themselves better players.
Have you seen some leaders then amongst the group over the last few days? Have the players taking responsibility?
I see it all the time, and I see it before the game on Friday. I see it since the game Friday. So I see it all the time, and I see them wanting to train hard and willing to come in and train hard. That's whether it's to learn, whether it's to get their frustrations out, whether it's to want to win the five-a-side, whether it's to want to get better, whether it's to want to take responsibility. I see that. So that's why it makes it even more difficult to take when I see a performance like we did at Notts County.
And because of Friday's result, does it impact your thinking of the team you'll select on Wednesday? Does it have a bit more significance now, the Checkatrade Trophy, now you're out of the FA Cup?
I mean, well, it's another opportunity. It's a knockout scenario again, even though it's a league fixture. It's a knockout scenario, but winner takes all. That's how it is. Yeah, it was a home game that we want to win. Again, Swindon have obviously had a game Sunday and they play a game Saturday. So I don't know how they're going to look at it, but you know, we'll have a team out to get us to the next round, because, like I say, we're out of all cup games, all cup tournaments now, apart from this one.
And you get on with things. Given you're going to Scunthorpe on Saturday, you'd rather not play on a Wednesday night, but you can't. You only can control the controllables, I guess.
You can't do that. The FA have told us to do it like this. We've obviously tried to keep the game on the Tuesday. It is what it is. You can't do a lot about it. We have to manage the squad, manage the players, manage the week. It's a difficult week, you know, for the club, with certain things going on behind the scenes. So we've got to manage these things.
And it's a different to West Ham under-21s because it's Swindon. There is a bit of a rivalry there, so a bit of edge, I imagine, on Wednesday when the players take to the pitch.
It's a different type of game, as you say. It's there is a local derby. There is a kind of league experience, know-how amongst it in terms of how both teams play and what type of leagues they're both playing in. So yeah, it's winner takes all, and it's bragging rights again. Yeah.
And a word on Swindon, I think it's 4 wins in a row. They're finding their feet now. They've since been relegated to League 2.
Yes, they are. They've done great. Yes, obviously they won the games the weekend before that. They won 3 games with 3 clean sheets. So they too have been mixing it around when it comes to the EFL Trophy. And I wouldn't say playing weaker teams; they're just playing weaker players. I'd say they're just playing players that need games that have been on the sidelines for whatever reason. So, you know, their team's strong.
Thank you.